Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. I've recently finished my mock exams and thought that it might be useful to go through a video talking about how they went, how I revised very briefly because I've got that in a whole different video, my next steps and some wise words of advice for mock exams. So to begin with, I'm going to go through how they went. So I'm going to go through this by subject, talk about what I think went well and what I think wasn't good about the paper. And I'm not going to give an estimate of how I think I did specifically because I think I am the worst judge of my own performance and I really hate overestimating or underestimating and it just stresses me out, so I'm not going to do that. So to begin with is English, and I'm not sure, I think this was the worst out of all of my papers. It was 3 hours long and my attention span just did not last. I think the questions were okay, especially the Rebecca poetry question, although I do think I need to focus some more energy revising Othello minor characters because they came up and I think I'm a bit weak there, especially with critics. And I also need to work on my unthemed poetry technique, but I think that's more just like minor fixes. I think my biggest issue was timing and attention span, which I'll go into how I'm going to sort that in my next steps. So I don't think it went too well. I think I was just waffling, but as I say, I'm not a very good judge of my own performance, so we'll just have to wait and see. As for history, I knew the content. I was very strong on the content, personally, I think. Watch me turn around and get like an E. Hopefully not. I think I knew the content. My revision wasn't an issue there. Again, it was timings, and I do think the final 25 marker, because we did the Russia paper, was pretty evil. Thanks a lot to my teacher for that. I did not like that question. Please don't give us a question like that again. Yeah, I think maybe question technique could be improved personally for me, timings could be improved and attention span, but I think I knew the content, although I might do a bit more energy into revising the economy and society topic, but we've only just finished that. So I'll go into my revision techniques a bit more later, but I do think constantly going over things is one of the best ways to revise, and I hadn't really had a chance to do that because we finished the content like 2 weeks before the exam, so hadn't really been able to revise as much as I normally would for that. So sociology. The sociology paper was again an issue with timings and attention span. I really struggled with the 20 marker because I ran out of time, and I also think I am a little bit weaker on education and family than I thought I was. Although the way that my teacher did the paper, most of the paper was on the crime topic, so I don't think that would have affected my performance too much, but I do think that is where I need to focus my revision just in general, and I definitely think that timing is a major issue for me. Again, with RS, I think timings were an issue, and I do think that I'm a little bit weak on New Testament topics, especially eschatology and Luke, but again, I think that's because we'd only just finished the topic, and for me, I need to go over things quite a few times over quite a long time before it really sticks, which isn't good because I think when we go into the real exam, there will be topics which you have only just finished. So I'm really hoping they don't come up in the real thing because that is where I am weaker. So maybe that is an issue with my revision style, and maybe that is something I need to work on. As for my revision style, I was revising from the start of year 12. Sorry, my mum's talking on the phone and I'm trying to talk over her. Not like interrupt her, but like I can't shut the door because we've got cats. Anyway, my revision techniques. So I do have a whole video on this and I will link that in the description. But basically the main things I did were past papers. I didn't do past papers, I did past questions. I did questions on their own, timed, and I do think that was helpful, but I do think I can improve that, which I'll go into my next steps. I did a lot of blurts. I made flashcards, but I didn't really go over them. Maybe I should go over them. I made myself quizzes and I answered the questions. I used Quizlet. I used Seneca. I made posters. I made stupid comics to help me remember things. There are lots of things I did. Again, I have loads of videos on this, so if you want to go check those out, please go check those out. But my next steps for how I think my revision processes could be improved is I think I could be writing full papers to test my timings and attention spans. So personally, I'm going to try and do a sociology or English paper once a week or a history paper once a week in full-time conditions without looking at the questions beforehand, although I think that's going to be difficult and I think I'm going to try and make the questions, so that is completely not possible. But maybe if I make the papers a few weeks in advance, so I've forgotten the questions that I put, and then writing them completely timed, no time for planning, So sometimes what I'll do is I'll plan a question, then I'll time it. But I think I'm not going to give myself extra time for planning when I do that from now on, because I do think that is what created my issue, is I'd spend a bit of my time planning and then I would not be able to finish writing, if that makes any sense. I also think I need to find some more effective ways to revise in the short term. So I'm thinking maybe quizzing myself repeatedly or teaching the topics might be very helpful for me. I'm hoping. I think in general my revision techniques are all right. I think my biggest issue was timing and attention span, which is something that I am going to try and work on. Which then leads me into my wise words of advice, is mocks are there for you to learn from them. They're not there to make you feel like you're a failure. They're not there to make you have a stress breakdown. I'm looking at myself here. They're not there to give you a stress breakdown. Don't have a stress breakdown over it. So for my GCSE ones, they really helped me identify topics where I needed to focus on, and I do think that was really helpful for my final exam. They also really help you if your technique is off. So I think that my timings are off, and I think that I'm a bit weak on the RS 10 and 20, and I think I'm a little bit weak on the sociology 20, and the mocks are going to help me identify that. They also, identify where you might be weak on content. Like, I'm a little bit weak on eschatology and Luke. I'm a little bit weak on Russian nationalities, and a little bit weak on Russia economy. I know where I need to focus my time now, although I don't, because I haven't got my results, but when I get my papers back, I know where to focus my time. And I think a really helpful thing to do is actually rewrite the mock paper at home and then use your teacher's comments and marking to give yourself a new grade, because I think it's just really helpful. And especially if your teachers write the papers themselves, you never know, that topic could come up and you've already gone over it. Although I think if it's a past paper, that's less likely, because the question probably come up the year before. But not necessarily, questions do repeat themselves. I'm not an examiner, I don't know what I'm talking about here. But yeah, I really hope this video was helpful. I feel like it was a little bit rambly. My brain is just goo right now, and it has been goo for like 2 months, but that's fine. I'm gonna try and get some more consistent videos out. I might bulk film and then upload gradually. So hopefully you will start seeing more videos from me soon. I do hope you're all well and staying safe. Hope you have a good Christmas if you celebrate, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, goodbye. Oh, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed.